Moving to the second part of this big section, we're moving to talk about the Yongle Palace, which is Yongle in Chinese. So I wanted to use this palace, morals and religious world, to give an example of what is faith in space of ancient Chinese architecture. Yongle Palace was first constructed in the 4th year of Emperor Taizong's reign during the Yuan dynasty, or 1245 CE, under the regency of Empress Nama Zhen Huanghou. It was originally named Great Chunyang Longevity Palace, or Da Chunyang Wanshou and is recognized as one of the 3 major ancestral temples, Zuting, of the Yuanzhen school, or Quanzhen Pai, in Taoism. The palace complex is dedicated to Sanqing, the highest deity in the Taoist pantheon, as well as to Lü Zu and other important patriarchs of the Quanzhen tradition. And this is one of the reasons why there's a hall called Sanqing Hall, the origin of the name. Among the halls of Yongle Palace, the most outstanding murals are found in the Sanqing Hall and the Chunyang Hall. These murals are not only artistic treasures, but also visual expressions of Taoist theology, ritual hierarchy, and spiritual cosmology. So let's see the left side here. The Keizhen, or Zaojing in Chinese, in Chunyang Hall, is one of the most intricate and dynamic structures in Yongle Palace. Suspended high above the outer space, this multi-layer ceiling is shaped like a sunken dome, composed of interlocking wooden brackets and decorative beams. Unlike the more ritual divided layer of Sanqing Hall, or the picture depicted on the right, the Keizhen here serves a spiritual and protective purpose. The central motif often includes a dragon or other celestial symbols acting as a visual axis mundi, or in Chinese saying 天地中心, connecting heaven and earth, deity and human. For Taoist followers, the ceiling becomes not just a cover, but sacred gateway to the divine realm. Architecturally, it reflects the Taoist belief in nature harmony and cosmic order. The surrounding structure draw the eye upward, guiding attention to the divine, while enclosing the space in layered symmetry. As a ceiling decoration, it protects the hall like a spiritual umbrella, reinforcing both the aesthetic and theological unity of the space. Okay, so let's see here. These are the 4 halls consisted inside Yongle Palace, and later on we're gonna just focus on 2 halls. The first one is Sanqing Hall, and the second one is Chunyang Hall. Let's move on to this very, very famous mural in Sanqing Hall. This is called Chao Yuan Tu. This mural lies in the magnificent Sanqing Hall, which spans nearly 100 meters in length. It depicts over 300 Taoist deities, or Shenqi, gathering to pay homage to Yuan Shi Tianzun, the primordial celestial worthy. The entire composition resembles a grand and highly ordered celestial court assembly. Deities are arranged in symmetry, converging towards the center from both sides. Those at the front stand in reverent posture, attendants follow behind. Male and female deities are separated into distinct groups, reflecting a clear cosmic hierarchy. The revered in the center, the lesser on the sides, or the saying in Chinese, 尊在中，卑在侧. So this spatial logic mirrors Taoist ritual of Chaoyuan, the celestial paying of homage to the source, and also demonstrates how ancient artists use visual space to construct a cosmic order. Elements like floating clouds, celestial canopies, and palatial towers appear at the top of the painting, placing the event in a sacred heavenly realm and reinforcing the supremacy of the deity at the center. Standing before this wall, I feel drawn into an overwhelming divine cosmos, with the heavenly dome above, immortal beings surroundings, and every figure aligned in ritual formation. This was precisely the purpose of ancient religious art, to preach through space and to construct a heavenly court through image. Now we are moving on to Chunyang Hall and see what is inside this. Chunyang Hall is consisted of a total of 52 murals in vividly narrate the legendary life of Lü Dongbing, a famous Taoist immortal. His story unfolds not only as personal spiritual journey, but also as visual reflection of everyday life during the Song and Yuan dynasties. These morals are filled with historical details, official commoners, farmers, beggars, each portrayed with distinctive costumes, tools, and architecture. One can observe richly painted scenes of pavilions, tea houses, and wine taverns, which together form a visual archive of the social atmosphere of the time. Through Lü Dongbing's transformation from worldly involvement to spiritual transcendence, these artworks reveal not only Taoist ideas, but also the interweaving of myth and reality, belief and society. The murals thus serve both as religious narrative and cultural document, bridging sacred symbolism with secular life. So let's look at this very famous mural inside this Chenyang Hall, which is called 中吕滩道图. This portrays a springtime encounter between Lü Dongbing, which I have already said, a founding master of Taoism, and the hermit Zhong Liquan in the mountains. In the scene, Zhong Li sits with chest bared, leaning forward with focused expression, as if sharing a divine opportunity. Lü Dongbing sits calmly with hand clasped, gaze lowered, visibly torn between the calls of official service, which means 出世 in Chinese, and spiritual retreat, 入道. Their gestures and expressions are subtle yet revealing, hinting at inner conflict and transformation. Let's see the background. In the background, there are some ancient pines, misty peaks, and some descending waterfalls, which reflects the Taoist ideal of seclusion and self-cultivation. This is not just a tale of myth, but a form of visual religious persuasion. Those who stand before the murals are drawn into the same spiritual dialogue, invited to reflect on their own path. This part is very interesting because I have put 3 visual symbols of Taoist cosmos. Since the different characters in Taoist religion is very complex and there's too much story about them, I choose some very interesting symbols in Taoist religion, which also represents the cosmos of Taoist ideals. In the left side of this page, we can see a lotus, octagonal, terrace, and phoenix. Here, there's 2 elements. One is the lotus-shaped octagonal pestle, and one is the phoenix, right? So the lotus-shaped octagonal pestle symbolizes Jinlian Hui, a religious fellowship founded by Wang Chongyang of the Quanzhen Dao. The lotus, known for blooming unstained from mud, represents moral purity and spiritual transcendence and supports the 3 teachings in one ideal, 就是三教合一的 ideal. And the second element we see on this left side page is the phoenix. In Taoist religion, it symbolizes female deities, yin-yang harmony, and expresses in traditional Chinese culture. And there in the middle picture, there's also a phoenix pattern on the screen of throne of Hotu Nyangnyang, and it also acts as a symbolization. Lastly, let's look at the right part. There is an object called Hua Gai, and it decorates the space above the goddess, marking divine status. At the center of the Hua Gai rises a vertical pillar of light, known in Taoism as the Axis Mundi, or Fu Sang Shen Shu, linking between earth and heaven. Above sits a celestial space, sun and moon flanking the top, and waves and mountains surge below, forming a complete unified cosmos in Taoist thought. Together, the mural visually encodes a belief system of hierarchy, harmony, and cosmic unity.